Welcome back to our Chicago Bears online user franchise. It is officially the most fun time of pretty much any franchise, which is the offseason, coming off of a unfortunate loss in the Super Bowl to the Indianapolis Colts. But we did give it our all, and it's time to reload. We obviously have a decent bit of draft capital, I think an extra second-round pick. The cap situation isn't looking perfect, but we have some re-signings, and yes, we could afford a lot of these players, like Khalil Herbert. However, we're not going to. We have a lot of running backs, and in general, it's one of the easier positions to replace. And like I said, that money it's kind of tight. We have some offensive linemen we have to pay next season, and I think even like Jalen Johnson. There's some names. And if you guys want to see a week one of the regular season just before the Super Bowl, give this video to 200 likes, and that will happen, of course. Also, while you're down there, maybe subscribe if you're new to the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK Plays, and the rest of the video. Jacoby Brissett, not a bad backup by any means. You could easily win games with him, but no mentor tag. I think I'm just going to wait for the offseason to be kind of over and maybe sign some free agent quarterback. Compton, obviously fast, but got a lot of really good players like Nisrul Dean and some other linebackers that we just don't even start or use at all anyway, so no point in paying, a pretty low overall player, to say the least. And obviously we have a little bit of the staff point stuff, which we're going to be kind of focusing on more XP stuff after we get these running back upgrades in, some of the coach XP and scheme fit stuff. And obviously, as you can see here, I'm talking through different slides. It is a voiceover because this actually takes many weeks to complete. And obviously, you can see some of these free agent signings. A lot of mentor guys, but also McDowell, a decent star dev edge rusher. He got a little upside, but the main guy would be Adrian Amos, who I believe also has the mentor tag, and then Kalen Barnes, who with our +3 to speed boost, we have 99 speed, maybe even giving good old Velez Jones a run for his money. But obviously free agency here, some pretty decent names, some linemen, some cornerbacks. Tyson Campbell not being re-signed by the Lions after trading, I think, 2 second-round picks is definitely surprising, but ended up getting Joke instead, so you lose some, you win some, it is what it is. But looking at these free agents, these are, the guys that signed across the league. There was a couple of decent names I was looking at, but my real big ticket item would have been like Jawan Johnson, us and the Cowboys kind of fighting for him and then realizing he wants too much money and neither of us really getting him because we lowballed him too hard. But it is now officially time for the draft where the Raiders have the first pick overall, and obviously in these user franchises, it's almost always quarterback pick 1, pick 2, pick 3 in a row for the most part, and you likely will see that here as the Raiders do take quarterback with that first pick. Then the Commanders take quarterback with the second pick. The third pick, though, does go to the Seahawks with an edge rusher. Then we have, I believe, another edge rusher, this time to the Chargers. The Rams take quarterback, so they're pretty happy that the two teams ahead of them were who they were. The Eagles, with a pretty high draft pick, not needing quarterback, go with a pass rusher, Osborne. The Cardinals now take a very good tall wide receiver, but you're going to see something really crazy about him after this draft concludes. The Chargers with another pass rusher type guy, maybe more of a nose tackle or run stopper type perhaps. Another quarterback, and then the Vikings we just missed there took cornerback, and then the Niners take running back because they do not actually have Christian McCaffrey in this universe. Tight end of the Jets, the guy that I was really wanting, but he's actually slower than we thought. And sadly, normal dev. I would have taken him if he was somehow all the way down to my pick, so kind of dodged a bullet, I guess. But Chisholm to the Falcons, I believe, a pass rusher. Allen, who I also think is a pass rusher to the Jaguars. And then the first offensive lineman off the board to the Steelers. And now they're starting to fall. The Jaguars take a tackle as well. And then the Lions, who just lost corner, might go with corner. No, Trent Hanks, the tight end, I believe he's 23, somewhat fast, but when you have Laporta, very questionable decision there, as he's once again 23. The DT was just taken, and then Navi, a tall wide receiver to the Giants. There was a lot of tall wide receivers. Edge rusher to the Packers, who traded Lucas Van Ness. Slot wide receiver to the Chiefs, who, I guess want more wide receivers. Safety to the Patriots. McCord looks halfway decent. Daniels, potentially another pass rusher. A lot of, kind of edge, just really the trenches for the most part. DT to the Bengals. Tall wide receiver to the Buccaneers. Had him on my list. DT to the Chiefs. I mean, kind of a need of ours, but I mean, I'm fine with the guys we have. Corner to the Cowboys, DT again, this time to the Niners. Then the Bills take strong safety. I don't know if I missed anyone there, but here we are at pick 31, and really, we're kind of just choosing for luxury, and this guy looks really luxurious. 6'5", 93 speed, 89 jumping, hidden dev wide receiver. You guys might have seen the title talking about an X Factor. Is this the X Factor? Did we draft an X Factor wide receiver in round 1? I don't know. We end up trading up a pretty high draft pick to just grab a DT. One of the last DTs that was there. Looks insanely raw, but might be worth it. A finesse. Get some depth on that D-line anyways. And unfortunately, normal dev. And I'm going to spoil it for you. This might be the worst draft pick I've ever had in the history of this league. The very worst draft pick. You'll see after this. And now we have safety. Kind of need someone maybe for Eddie Jackson as a replacement. Probably just going to be a backup. But hidden dev, 91 speed with a little bit of height. I mean, most of the safeties are like 5'9", 5'10" in the league that I've seen in the draft. So not a bad pick there. Obviously, if you guys couldn't tell, we showed the whole first round of all the teams, and then we're just skipping to our picks here. And a bunch of different offensive linemen. You can never have too many O-line. We're choosing between who we want, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of want a little bit of size over the center. I think we're going to probably end up going with one of the guards, and I think Sean Odom looks the safest in my book, and he's hidden dev. I don't know if he was the safest, but it ended up being a pretty good draft pick as we land another hidden dev offensive lineman, maybe superstar dev. And then here, more edge as we need all the depth we can get. Trying to save some money as well, which you get some of these guys for on 4-year deals. You're cooking. And speaking of cooking, hidden dev, maybe he's the X Factor. As we have seen a lot of superstar pluses later in each draft class. And then running back, we just lost Khalil Herbert. Don't really need one, but why not add one this late into the draft? Ricky Fitzsimmons, a white dude with some power, and even he is hidden dev. So, I mean, things are just going crazy. They're just going crazy. Not that he's like the best running back ever, but looks like he could be a fun power guy. And then tight end John Phillips. I don't want to talk about it. All right, we were desperate. It was right at the end of the draft. I don't want to talk about it. But here are our players, and you can see why I talked about that DT being the worst draft pick we've had in this league's history. Maybe even the worst ever when you consider the fact that, well, you know, he's 6'5" overall normal, and he's really bad. Let's just put it that way. But this is what, you know, the draft class kind of looks like. The tight end for the Lions, not great either. So some iffy picks from the NFC North, it seems like, but that is just our two teams in fairness, so I don't really want to speak for the whole division. But then I was like, hey, holy crap, 82 overall safety. And while he's not bad, obviously, the play reckon awareness kind of a downside, though, right? I don't know how much it actually matters, but it's going to raise his overall, which means the overall upgrades are going to take longer to get because the XP is higher for each upgrade because his overall is higher. So unless it really matters, which I suppose for a safety, it probably does matter more than like an edge rusher or DT. Maybe not the best in the world, even though he's a really high overall. And then obviously looking at some of these players, the one thing I noticed when looking through all of this, most of the draft class was A, not very good in general, and B, normal or star dev. There really wasn't many superstars or X Factors. I'm trying to like remember. I didn't look at every single player, but from the first to the second round, we might have had the only X Factor in the entire draft. Now, I know they're not supposed to be common anyways, but still, and as you can see here, that is the surprising thing. 33 injury for his tall, pretty athletic wide receiver, which is such pain. Then you have Juan Waller here, who looks really good. What was that, 81 finesse move? It's kind of busted. Barry Richards, decent speed, hidden dev, pretty good ratings. Obviously a franchise-level quarterback. Now we have the Vikings with a tall corner, normal dev, but you know, he's got some redeeming factors, right? That's all that really matters. Doesn't really matter the dev. It's very easy to dev players. Speaking of devs, star dev for the running back that the Niners took. Strickland, really shocked that this guy wasn't faster. I thought he was going to be like 89 speed, you know, star, maybe superstar dev. Neither of those things. Really disappointing, honestly, to see. Star dev for the Falcons edge rusher, and then we have the Jaguars edge rusher, who is a little raw and kind of slow, but hidden development trait. It's something. Then Philip Moore, the first offensive lineman taken off the board. What can I say? It's an offensive lineman. All right, so I apologize if some of the players are different overalls than when they started, but I completely forgot to finish this part of the offseason. We're a few weeks into the league, and I'm recording this like day of the offseason video. But for the rest of the players, the Jaguars ended up with a hidden dev right tackle. This is also a live comm, if you will. And then we have the... Holy crap, he was that bad? Oh, he's 22 in fairness. Wait, he took... Okay, so I do not feel as bad as about my DT. Why did he even take this guy at all? And also, how is he so slow? I don't even know, but that makes you feel a little bit better, okay? I'll be honest with you. It's pain for him, but it makes you feel better about my really, really bad DT. Lindsey Wallace, the Dolphins defensive tackle, pretty good block shed, everything else iffy. I mean, once again, you can almost argue that our guy, that really bad DT that I don't associate with Hale, is debatably a lot worse than that. Superstar changes things, okay? But yeah, if not for Superstar, you can maybe make the argument. Wide receiver, it looks like nobody's changing their receiver names or their player names. 6'5", normal dev, taken quite a bit higher than our guy. And does not have aggressive or possession. Injuries okay. Toughness and stamina. I mean, it's kind of low. Yeah, definitely not the correct wide receiver. I probably wouldn't have taken this guy over the guy we took. So, if you would have taken our guy, obviously I would never went wide receiver, which would make me sad, I will say. The Packers, the edge rusher that he took, who is playing... Is he in a 4-3? I think he's in a... What is he in? I think he's in a 4-3, but because Rashawn Gary has abilities, he can't move them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But Rodriguez, the edge rusher that he drafted and is starting over the traded Lucas Van Ness, wanted to go with the finesse guy, because in my opinion, I also agree that it seems like power move rushers, unless they have really good abilities, just do nothing, whereas at least finesse actually does do stuff. So fair enough there. Pretty damn good draft pick. Then we go over to the Chiefs wide receiver, 23 years old, but obviously insanely fast. Normal dev, but worth it. Obviously very raw with the catching and some other ratings, but the speed does kill. And I can see why you would want to add him. Basically added a new Tyreek Hill, although he has Quez Watkins and Bo Melton, but he's got a young, speedy wide receiver now that he can develop. And then actually changing names out here, 75 zone coverage, okay speed, hidden development traits. Like I said, I don't know if anyone else was X Factor in the class, so maybe there was 2 X Factor safeties. Maybe this is the guy. It is not the guy, but still a pretty good pick. And here we have the Titans left end, who is really good at block shedding, actually. He's 23, but block shed's really good already, so, I mean, not a bad pick, but 23 does make me feel sad. And then we have the Bengals defensive tackle, hidden development traits. Pretty good block shed, okay power move, strength decent, good bull rush. Let's take a look at the dev trait. Hidden dev is star. Like I said, a lot of star dev DTs and not DTs, but just star dev players in the league. Not really many superstars. And then wide receiver Tony Shorts. I actually do like the name though. Star dev, 6'5". Similar to the guy that we drafted. Our guy's definitely a bit faster though, and I think his injury's better, but. Things happen, okay? Really good catching traits, though, but, yeah. Oh, no, he's got 93 speed. What was I missing? I don't know what rating I was seeing. 93 speed. I was seeing slower. I don't know. Very good player, though, obviously. We both landed some pretty good wide receivers late first round. Then we have Brandon Thomas. Not really good at getting to the quarterback, but very good block shed. Well, maybe not very good, but 78, pretty good. And not a bad player at all. He is star dev. He is revealed. Then we move over to the Cowboys, who drafted, I believe, a pretty tall corner, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't tall, apparently. I thought he was tall, but really good zone coverage anyways. Hidden development trait. Is that a new thing? I felt like I saw he was normal dev. Maybe he wasn't. Let's take a look at his dev trait, though. Obviously, not bad. Definitely has a high upside with star dev. Then we move on to the Niners. We have ourselves a pretty good power and block shed guy who is hidden development traits. Decently strong, and injury does kind of suck, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at his dev trait. like I said, so many star dev players, star and normal, but this guy's superstar. Don't know if he was, no, he must have been, because if you get like a breakout or something like that, they reveal their dev, I'm pretty sure. And we have ourselves, I believe, is he an edge rusher? I don't know what's going on here. Because like this looks like an edge rusher with that speed. It is, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. But hidden development trait as well, so you can't really be mad at it. Very good finesse move. Let's take a look at his dev traits. As the DT was superstar. Star dev for that guy. Looks pretty sick, actually. And then I think we glanced at the safety for the Bills. We'll see if maybe he has like hidden dev now or star dev. Very bad zone coverage. Man's iffy. Block shed's low. It's really just that the play action or the play rec and the awareness, which, realistically, like I talked about, kind of makes it a negative to have him, because obviously it's going to cost more upgrade points or XP to get those upgrade points. The Colts took tackle. I don't know if that was the guy or not, because there's so many different young players on this line. He's just trying to make it. He's just trying to get it right, which I feel it. I feel it. This must have been the guy, I think. Normal development trait. Pretty good pass block ratings. Obviously 23 and normal does suck, but I didn't want to look at that. I wanted to see if that was actually the guy he drafted or not. Can we see the draft? And it is, yeah, that was the guy. So pretty good pass block though. His ratings aren't that bad considering, but yeah, it does, once again, it does kind of suck for that normal dev. Now it's time to get some of those free agents we missed out on. Jawan Johnson is one of them. Darrell Watkins, a fast rookie linebacker. Carl Lawson, a really good potential starter, but backup depth piece for us. And then quarterback Derek Carr, I saw those ratings. I was like, that cheap? Absolutely bringing him on. And I think we actually grabbed a bunch of really good free agents. Kyle Fuller, mentor tag, former Bear joining the squad. But one thing we didn't look at was our rookies. Of course, this is a online user 32-person league, so I'm going to be looking at the devs, which in normally, our offline leagues, we don't look at the devs. But some of the names are going to change, the numbers are going to change, but the devs and ratings obviously will not, at least right now. The wide receiver, the 6'5" wide receiver, actually looking pretty damn good, very fast. Injury and stamina are great, toughness is okay. Actually, a lot of juke move there. No run after the catch, but aggressive in possession, which for a big dude, that's the main ones, right? Especially aggressive. Sadly, only star dev, but, that's half the fun of it, I suppose. Our right guard, Sean Odom, I believe actually going to keep his name. I don't know about the number. A backup at this point, but potential starter for, well, if we run out of money and need to start someone elsewhere. Of course, Ben Willis, the superstar development trait end. I don't know if I actually showed these. Did I show these? I kind of feel like I've seen these names and devs so much that I can't really remember who's who. But here's the DT. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. A pretty bad pick. Not even just that, but we ended up trading up for him. And then the safety, Lippett, who is decently fast, young, okay height. Dev, what is the dev? Oh, just X Factor. The guy that's supposed to be a backup, maybe a starter in the future just like a pure luxury piece, if you will, is an X Factor, of course. And then we look at Blake, a guy that we pretty much have to trade. He has potential, but we just have too many safeties on the team. We're going to end up having to trade him. And then, of course, you can see all the training camp stuff. We'll look at some of these. We'll play a little bit here. You get to get a feel for some of the players. Of course, Fields isn't really one of those players we need a feel for, but obviously, they're kind of fun. Very challenging, though. This one took a long time to complete, and we finally get that gold coming up here with, I don't even know. I didn't want to talk about how many attempts it took. Of course, looking at some of the numbers here. Gold, which is, like I said, really tough. This outmanned one is so broken. It's insane. Here with the pump fake, and then an insane catch from Mooney, who, of course, is likely going to be our slot wide receiver. We're going to have a backup superstar dev. A backup superstar dev wide receiver who's young. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing. Swift to the outside. This one's almost guaranteed. You get this in the first try, like, every time. But still looking at it, trying to get a dang dev up. Maybe get to X Factor to be clutch, but really, in these training camps, you're kind of aiming for the players that either A, need to dev up, or B, are such a high overall that it takes a lot of XP to upgrade, because you get that upgrade point if you get gold, which, of course, we get there. And here's the first look, though, at Zaylen Mitchell, who came out the gate gunning it right past Johnson. Look at the moves. He's so quick, running up the field, burning. And Jalen Johnson is in hell right now as, of course, gold on the first try, believe it or not. Look at the spin move. Look at the spin move. He's insane. He's just messing around at this point. 22k XP on the first try. Now DJ Moore, once again, another guy that could use a dev up, but also is on the older side. And, the upgrade points do take a bit. It takes a bit to get those. And he could use all the upgrade points he can get. Of course, maybe should have done Mooney, to be honest. But, whoops. I wanted that upgrade point from DJ Moore. And, to the corner. Can we get it? No, it's going to be short. Either way, gold is a gold. And then Uche, who's a really high overall, but not 95 overall, to get that last ability unlocked in the 4th ability slot, which, of course, gives us a chance to re-roll if we don't get something like Edge Threat. But, of course, gold there. Easiest, right? Trench Battle is the easiest. Now, this one is debatably the hardest one of all. This one is such a pain. You basically have to go low every time, even if you had the worst running back in the league, but obviously Swift is far from that. And you have to go low every time, otherwise they're just going to break off the tackle. Like, if you run straight into them, conservative tackle, even if you're spamming A, you'll always get beat. Always get beat. So, obviously, going low like this is the only way. And, obviously, this is a killer run. This is insane. We got a gold with 38 seconds left, but that took a lot of tries. But, obviously, gold is gold. No dev up, sadly, though, from Tremaine Edmonds, who is, I think, the highest overall star dev player in the league, which is crazy. And then, obviously, trying to get these corners up to superstar as well. No abilities on them. Some insane seasons. Just no dev ups. I don't know what. I don't know why. They just aren't getting dev ups. But maybe one of these days, one of these seasons, as obviously Johnson killing it in this one. Very easy, right? The DB battle one's very easy. Sometimes I get bored even, and I start pressing and trying to recover from bad positions when that's really tough for no reason. As we do this one perfectly. Gonna look, we barely missed. So to say, look like we're gonna get 30k. Didn't. This one now, a little bit more challenging, right? You have to kind of guess where the ball is gonna go. Look at the one-hander though. Oh, beautiful. Stevenson, another guy that could use a dev up. Perfect coverage. And yeah, this is one that'll definitely take a couple of tries as well. You got to remember some of the route combos and pay attention to which way they look like they're going. Slowing down perfectly there. One away from the gold, it seems. Look like a quick out. It's going to be a zig, actually. And we get the knockdown. Beautiful swat with a little bit of anger to it. And this is one of the best runs I've had on this one. Because like I said, it's really challenging. You have to kind of predetermine, guess the route. It's the ones that kind of cut across the field like this, really easy. But the ones that are, that sucks. The ones that are kind of to the outside, those are the ones that are tough. Because you don't know if it's a streak, you don't know if it's an out, what it is. Kicker, also kind of challenging, but here you are. You can see we're doing okay. We're doing okay for ourselves. 7,100 XP with only 10 seconds left, though. Kind of need to hit another target, which we do. And it gives us gold. And I was debating. I was like, do I even kick this? When's if I miss it? And they're like, -15. I have to redo it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to kick it up, through the uprights. Can't give me no points for that. And believe it or not, actually went to star dev from that. I don't know why I didn't show it, but went to star dev. And then really tough. Coffin corner. It is challenging. Sometimes it seems like with the wind, the angle, and all that, it's almost impossible to get to the coffin corner. And you can see here, we're struggling. We're barely in there. Roll. That was so clutch, and we need it. We need it. We need to land in either the orange or the red, I believe, here. We have the ×6, which is telling you we got the streak. You have to hit it in the red zone to get the multiplier up. It's ridiculously difficult. And here, didn't get the red, but with that multiplier was enough. We finished the punter. And now, just for good measure, why the hell not? Derek Carr. Imagine we get a freaking superstar backup quarterback. Derek Carr with a target passing one. Kind of a fun one, but sometimes a little challenging. And we're kind of killing it on this one. Not going to get the double there, but it's a really good throw. And the multiplier keeps going up. That's the big thing in these training camps and these weekly trainings. Just getting that multiplier up, right? Doesn't even matter how many points you get. As long as the multiplier keeps growing, that's all. That's all that matters. And, of course, you can see here, unless we really, really choke, we should have this one locked up. And with the doubler there, that will be enough to get the gold. And just for good measure, we'll look at the last one. Why not? Derek Carr cooking up. I feel good about Derek Carr, right? Like, if we had to start him, is that another doubler? Damn, cooking, though. If we had to start him because Fields got injured, I think we can win it all with him. So it's nice to have a quarterback that you believe that can happen. And obviously, I forgot to show it. So here is Dicker, who is not 99 kick power just yet, but star dev. And then the final thing before the upgrades we have is we have a wide receiver mentorship, which I believe never actually shows up for the plus stats. And then a camp standout for Jacob Dawson, which is interesting. And for the final thing we have to do before the episode is over, and we basically kick it off to week 1 in next episode, is to upgrade players. Now, I don't really know if I showed too much about our trades. This is a little bit of like we're taking the L on this, but I don't really need Blake. And yeah, I know he has 3 more years. I just don't need him, right? Like, I have Amos, I have Mukuamu, I have, of course, Lippett. I just don't really need Blake, and Blake didn't really play for me last season. Let him, succeed somewhere else. A 6th-round pick might not seem like much, but at the same time, there was a couple of tight ends that, in the 5th/6th I could have gotten if I had that extra pick, and I didn't. And then I don't know if I even showed Darnell Washington too much, but that was the Jervon Dexter straight up for Darnell Washington trade, which our DT position is a little bit weaker now. I know we took Hale decently high, and he just wasn't good, but he has some potential, I suppose. And then we have Amenahu, who will be the backup to those guys. But yeah, those are basically the last moves we're gonna make for the roster. Maybe we sign some other backup DT or something, but for the most part, that's like the main names we have. And some games already been played. I didn't even notice that. So you can see the Lions are 0-1, the Packers are 1-0, and the Vikings are 1-0. So it could be a 3-way tie at the top, or I don't know, not. I guess to be fair, the Vikings have that lead. Doesn't matter though. But the big thing here is these upgrades. You got a bunch of them, like a lot of them. One of the big ones that I've been trying to get though is Mr. Uche to a 95 overall. Unlock that last slot and re-roll him, hoping for some sort of edge threat type of thing. Edmonds, pretty good upgrade. We really need to get him a dev up, but it just hasn't happened yet. I even have him on our weekly training focus stuff. Might have taken him off this season so far, just because we have some other names. But Fields, another guy that we're trying to get to 95, I believe. Is it? It is 90 field general, which he is somewhat far away. Not really. We're hoping that he gets it here, though. +2 overall, 1 to short. Please tell me that at least jumped him. At least he's 89 field general. That is garbage. That is so bad. But we really want to get to 90 so we can get field general up and basically have a reroll chance at everything. Pass lead elite would be insane. It would turn him into, a really, really good quarterback. And now, I wouldn't want to lose no-look Deadeye, but outside of no-look Deadeye, it really doesn't matter too much. I mean, safety valve, increases the catching prowess of all running backs who are open on pass plays. What does open even mean? And it's running backs anyways, so it is what it is. DJ Moore, I don't even know what the hell we want to do here. We aren't re-rolling him because he just has really good abilities, but if we were just kind of keeping an eye on that, he's pretty good at everything. Short routes a little iffy. I think we're just going to go Playmaker. He's really a pretty good player at after the catch stuff, but Playmaker gives you a lot of different things, and that's a pretty good upgrade. 2 to spin, 2 to spec, 2 to medium route, 1 a juke move. We don't hate that at all. So, I like that ability quite a bit. Swift, I think he's already pretty good as juking. Yeah, he's pretty good, but he's not that good. Could use a little bit more for the juke and specifically spin move upgrades. Doesn't get that. Obviously, once again, we did get spin cycle, but I don't know if I'm going to use that much. I don't know if it's worth re-rolling, though, because grab and go is not bad at all. Spin cycle's decent, and then goal line's back's good. Really what you would want is maybe something like jukebox or evasive, but like I said in the past, I think his juke move is really good on its own. I don't think we need the ability. And then Jalen Johnson, I think he's already so good at everything that we just keep going slot for better chances at speed upgrades, because that's his big lacking, his lack of speed. Play rec +4 might be decent, but 1-to-man coverage and +4 play rec, which puts him over 90 for that. Then we go to Tyreek Stevenson, probably going to be the same case here as, we just want the speed upgrades for these DBs more than anything, and we get 2-to-man coverage, which, okay, maybe his zone coverage needs to come up a little bit. We'll probably go zone for the future. Zaylen Mitchell, the guy that we brought in to hopefully give us a little bit of height at that wide receiver position. Has some pretty good traits. Doesn't have rack, but that doesn't really matter too much. If you're going to lose one of the catching traits, especially for a jump ball guy, that's the one to lose. So I don't mind that at all. Short route, medium route, deep route, not very good there. I kind of want to try out one physical and see what we're looking for, see what we're looking at, because, like I said, I wanted to be our jump route guy, or our jump move, what's it called, jump ball guy. I'm going to go deep threat, I think. I think gives you a better chance at speed, which is also something we like. 2 to deep route, 1 to catch. I mean, I'm not really liking those upgrades, can't lie. And that's pretty much it for this off-season video. I think we did a pretty good job. We had luxury picks in there. We had some, okay contributors, and we, of course, ended up with a backup X-Factor free safety, which is ridiculous. We have a Cam standout. I can't even remember who the hell that is already. I think it was one of the linebackers. And a promising season coming up for ourselves. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one, and hopefully you're excited for the next season like I am. We have potentially Darnell Washington to develop here. I want to try someone a little bit faster and has a little bit more upside. I think Washington has that upside with the size. Mitchell's also a guy that has a lot of upside, and we're going to see what Swift's like as an actual superstar. And then on the defensive side of things, Uche has a chance to become really good. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks away from getting re-rolled with 4 different ability slots. If he gets edge threat, that could change things drastically. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I really do appreciate the support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. That's about it. Thanks for watching once again. Hope you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya.